Hello everyone! We're back at it again with part 3 of the Hashihime playthrough series. The second half of part 2 is kind of boring, so let's hope the game redeems itself here. Don't have much else to say, so let's just get started. Okay, yes. What? Okay, wait. I'll read here. It was raining and the streetcar was packed. That was probably because it would have been a huge pain to walk around in this humidity. For me, using the streetcar to go 2.5 miles had nothing to do with whether it was rainy or cloudy. When I had happened to look outside, I saw 3 umbrellas spinning as they ran by. I recognized those guys. Wow, 3 umbrellas. How do you recognize bathhouse guys? I would have forgotten them in an instant. The moment I prayed they wouldn't get on, they noisily jumped on the streetcar. Oh, brother, these guys stink. I figured I'd move to the back to make room for the brats, but... Ah! They're little kids! Ugh! Tamamori should kill them, in my personal opinion. Why are there kids in my bad Phantom game? This makes no sense. I like his ponytail, though. It reminds me of someone I shall not name. What is wrong with that guy's hair? Why is it? His hogue is so pointy. That's what I was trying to do. I'm pretty sure they're staring at you instead of the harmless little kids. I said that, but when I glanced around, everyone was looking out the window and pretending not to notice us. Yeah, they don't care. They're just kids being kids. What's the problem here? They weren't completely indifferent, though. In the glass of the window, my eyes met those of an unfamiliar man. If you feel the same, say something. I'm pretty sure no one else cares that much. I stepped farther back and was instantly jostled around by the crowd and dropped my umbrella. Not the umbrella! I tried to pick it up, but I was so squished I couldn't move. That's when a pale hand picked it up. Literally every character here is pale. It could be anyone that he's referring to. Oh, one of the kids is nice. What a surprise. And of course, it's the one with the worst hairdo. Because he has kindness and compassion in his heart, unlike this kid. Now, why are you apologizing? Okay, nerd. Give me your lunch money, nerd. You felt bad for this grown man. So true. Get away from them, Tamamori. You don't deserve to talk to them. What? That was how they saw me? A surveillance target? What on earth are these guys talking about? The what? The Irregulars Regiment? This game keeps throwing stuff at me out of nowhere and expects me to know what it means. Naming a simple group of delinquents Irregulars Regiment was pretty over the top. I was an adult. I had no intention of hanging out with those who were less mature. You hang out with Kawase all the time. What are you talking about, dude? The same guy who turns your manuscripts into paper airplanes and burns them with his cigarettes. Like, are you sure he's not immature? Are you sure about that? Only able to move one hand, I pat the somewhat well-behaved one's head, then hid myself deeper in the crowd. How would you pat his head when he has that triangular piece sticking up? That would, like, stab through your hand, probably. I was unbelievably thankful the next stop was Jimbocho. I didn't want to be in that cramped car any longer than necessary. As the streetcar passed me by, the twerps pressed against the window and made weird faces, but I no longer paid them any mind. As long as I didn't ride the streetcar around this time of day, I wouldn't run into them. As long as I didn't go to the bathhouse around the same time as before, I'd be able to avoid them. Oh brother, this guy's gonna stink if he doesn't go to the bathhouse. But why were they making fun of me? Have you seen yourself? The waitress at the cafe seemed to be too. In the beginning, she'd been even more condescending. There were times where she wouldn't bring me a spoon no matter how many times I asked. Wow, even the ladies hate you. How does that make you feel? That wasn't the only time I had been viewed as an idiot. That must be a lot. Not the trauma dumping. Get me out of here. I'll never forget it. 2 years ago, we met an elderly man on the train heading to the capital. I don't care. But fine, I'll listen anyway. He had been somewhere between 75 and 80. He was the master of Aikida Manor, and he would eventually take in Kawase as an adopted son. Kawase mentioned. This video immediately became rotten. Ikeda, that mysterious old man who didn't know how much longer he had left, had grown quite fond of us young men, making our way to the capital and become the future of the nation. He became fond of Kawase, really? And told us we could rent a room at his mansion. I wonder why he took in Kawase as an adopted son instead of, like, literally anyone else. Also, does Kawase not have parents or something? Thank you for your kind offer, but we're already being taken of by a person named Oizumi. Don't bore him with all that, Minakami. Yeah, he's offering it to us a favor. We might as well not waste it. Okay, Kawase. Nobody should listen to you, in my opinion. Minakami had sighed and said, please take care of these two, as he bowed his head. When he told us he wanted to adopt us, the conversation gradually snowballed. Oh, so he wanted to adopt both of them, not just Kawase. That makes more sense. If it was just Kawase, that'd be like insane person alert. At his sudden proposal, the grandparents I'd left behind in the country crossed my mind, so I of course hesitated, but Kawase had immediately accepted. Why? He had no one who came to mind back in the country. Wow, he's lonely. Deserved, TBH. Right when this joke we shared as we traveled started to have a tinge of truth to it, something happened that destroyed all my hopes. You stepped on a banana peel and comically slipped to the ground. Someone had stolen my luggage. What? How dare they? Who would willingly want to steal this guy's stuff? It's probably just a bunch of books because he's such a loser. A young man with his hat worn low had run off with my bag, which I left in the aisle. Can't you just run after him and tackle him? Or is he just too slow? With monkey-like reflexes. Or maybe he really was a monkey. What? The thief had escaped my grasp. Hey, you! Before he could even reach the second car, he was jostled around by the crowd and started to slow down. I figured that now I'd be able to catch him, but he passed it along to the next thief. He's working with other thieves? What type of luggage does this guy have? A whole briefcase full of gold? Honestly, I was also slowing down from exhaustion. Haha, this guy's weak. Even when I yelled out, thief! It was drowned out by the sounds of the crowd and the train as I was pushed farther back. Wow, no one cares about the thieves anymore. Literally 1984. When he tried to disappear into the third rail car, Minakami shouted out as loud as he could. A bag with 300 yen in it was stolen. Whoever gets it back will get half. Oh boy, 300 yen. What a huge lie. Well, look. Just like Minakami said, the looks in everyone's eyes had changed. Wow, everyone wants a piece of that money. With the power of maturity, my bag was instantly taken back from the thief and was suddenly being passed above the heads of the crowd. I think everyone wants to share that. The moment it was finally back in my hands, the buckle on my bag snapped and revealed to just be a bunch of books and no money. But he had like 2 yen in there. But further down inside the car were my manuscripts. Manuscripts, and more manuscripts. Wow, this guy really is a loser. He just packs a bag full of manuscripts. Imagine the thieves did successfully steal it in an open bag and just see the terrible manuscripts about like 10 different fandoms. I would honestly end it all right there, then and there. Some greedy miser must have tried to wrench my bag open by force. One page was swept away by the wind, and one fell into some far-sighted old lady's hand. Some landed on the heads of innocent bystanders, and one fell by my feet. Actually, it fell by Kawase's and Ikeda-san's feet as they came up to me and Minakami. Tamamori-kun? Bleh. What's the meaning of this? Weren't you going to the capital to study, be a doctor? Of course. I say you know what goes on in a person's head by the contents of their bags, but what's all this? What does it look like? Yeah, I hate that laugh. You should learn from Kawasaki. Don't say that. Nobody should learn from that doofus. I don't really want to remember what happened after that. Everyone probably beat him up for lying about the 300 yen. I gotten drunk and ended up between two of the rail cars, sobbing on and on. Sobbing on and on about not being a successful doctor. Wow. Minakemi was the only one who had me go back to my seat with a worried look on his face. Wow, Minakemi is a real guy. Anyway, I'd fooled Aikida-san at first, and even the shopkeeper at Umbachido. This guy is a professional gaslighter. I've already mentioned that in another video, but wow, he does not stop lying. I mean, even if I had used some underhanded techniques, you think? Why were children the only ones who didn't fall for it? Children are the future, after all. You're gonna be much smarter than adults soon. Frick, I didn't read what it said! Wait! Stop! Okay, when the sun had... No, that was probably why I would never like children for as long as I lived. Wow, dude! When the sun had completely set, as I'd gone back to Umbachido, a man was there twirling his umbrella. He seemed bored. He stopped, startled, when he saw me making my way back. Oh, who is it? Yes! It's the eye patch guy, finally! I missed him! Wow, he was lying about not being available for the whole day. Look, you had a worried customer. How could you not be ashamed of yourself for ditching him to go party with Kawase at that stupid cafe or whatever? Yes! More screen time for the eye patch guy. Let's go! Wow, is he too weak to open the door by himself? He was kind of a gloomy guy. I told him to come in, but he just fidgeted, showing no signs of entering. Come on in, dude! And what did you come here to do? Give him another goldfish watering can? Oh, I hope so. No, don't give it back! Oh, thank goodness. It must have been something that was pretty important to him. It's not like I wouldn't return it if he told me to. But he waved his hands and shook his head, as if to tell me not to worry about it. A gift! Oh, that's so cute! Why is he so quiet? I cannot hear him. Hikawa. Oh, that's a cool name. We're finally learning this guy's name after 3 playthrough videos. What was the holdup? We had like a whole hour of Kawase content before we could even have 5 minutes alone with this guy. But what do you mean, have we met before? You don't remember? Oh my god, this guy stinks. You remembered him giving you the goldfish watering can, so... Plus he comes by your shop every evening. How would you, like, forget? A month ago. That was when I began working at Umbachido. So of course, the name Hikawa wouldn't sound familiar to me. I knew it. He was the weird one. You're the weird one! Why are you insulting him now? What the heck, dude? Sounds like it's going to be long. Bah humbug. Have some joy in your life, Tamamori. He eventually closed his umbrella and came inside. I bet he's been sneaking up to his room and reading them to the goldfish. That's my new headcanon. What? Was he just standing over his shoulder reading it? What kind of stories are these? A pigeon man and a beggar? The pigeon man will never be as good as the frog man, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Story about a piece of caramel and triangle ruler wrestling. That sounds good. Way better than the Phantom one. Well, anything could be better than the Phantom story. I'll tell you that. It didn't feel so bad to hear all that. Really? I'd be kind of creeped out if someone was reading my manuscripts while I was like in the middle of hallucinating stuff. I grinned as I took a step closer to him. Are you serious? You already forgot? Professor? Hello, Professor. His name changed to Professor. Are you serious? Professor? Wow, he's formal. I wasn't even going to ask what his field of study was. Maybe Professor was something like a nickname. If it was a nickname, I had one too. Nerd? Oh, he remembers! He's so smart. As expected from a professor of his level. He's so cute! I'm so glad he's finally getting content. So sad he didn't appear in part 2. I was just waiting for his appearance. And Kawase took up like all of the video. I was so mad. Formerly a weirdo, currently a nutcase. Wow! You're formerly a goldfish killer, currently a fun hater. You better find the book. Wow, he's obsessed. You have your first fan, Tamamori. You should be happy. Not sweating nervously. You shouldn't be calling your only fan a nutcase. How do you think he'd feel if he heard you say that? The man, or rather, Professor, was slowly coming closer. Wow! You're pretty forward there, Professor. You don't barely even know this guy, and you're already asking him to come over to your house? A nice long chat. Go to his house, Tamamori, please! I need more eye patch guy content! Oops, I just shook the table. Ronins. I still have no idea what this means. I've been meaning to look it up after, like, either part 1 or part 2 of the playthrough, but I forgot. For such frivolities. Okay, nerd! Who says that in casual conversation? No! You made him sad! How dare you? It's just how it is. I will punch your face. A year? But he was so happy to invite you. How dare you turn him down after he gave you that wonderful goldfish watering can? Tea, snacks, and a meal? Oh, come on. Go there anyway, please. Oh, let's go! We're gonna get more eye patch guy content. Well, professor content. Minor business. Oh yeah, the movie thing. The movie date, as the Steam achievement called it. Hey, that is a very busy time for him. He's gonna be with... I don't want to say his name wrong, but I'm blanking on it right now. Minakami, right? Right! That's his name, right? Minakami? I want to go back up to the log to see if I could find his name in it, but I don't want to, like, take up too much time of the video. Movies are a way to research society. We really do live in a society. No! I would never hate you, but I can't say the same about Tamamori. As his face turned red, Professor withdrew like a turtle hiding from harassment. Look what you've done! Oh, he'll pick me up! Let's go! I get to go on a date with the eye patch guy! And with a somewhat nervous look on his face, he skipped away. He skipped. He has so much joy and whimsy in his heart. I love him. Even though I've been lured by tea snacks into accepting. Wow, this guy's a glutton. The day itself is guaranteed to be a pain. Wow. Would it hurt for you to be excited about something for once? It depended on how I happened to be feeling when the time came. I honestly couldn't have cared less whether he liked me or not. Well, he obviously likes you. He was excited to read your manuscripts. He was so eager to invite you to his place, so why not? It's 5 o'clock in the evening. 5 o'clock and it's pitch black outside? Seriously? I still had time before the movie. I would have liked an airplane, though, I muttered by the register as I rocked the goldfish watering can Professor had given me. I had a feeling, but no customers came after that. The shopkeeper hadn't returned either. No, I did not mean to do that. It was time to close up shop, so I shut the doors and started walking towards Toyo Cinema. When I began to stroll down Hakusan Street, I heard angry shouting coming from somewhere. Oh, that's probably Kawase. Soldier? Oh, geez, that's a deep voice. Taxi. That is so real. Drunk Guy is my new favorite character. Sorry, Frogman. I'm sorry. Oh, frick, I forgot to read that. I forgot to read that. This is quite second time it happened in the video. I'm so sorry. I looked across the street and saw a soldier and a drunk arguing. After the Navy had been reduced and disarmament enforced, the harsh criticism I cannot talk today. The harsh criticism soldiers received had gotten worse, despite their pampered status not so long ago. The military was getting hit hard. Now, the world was a rough place for soldiers, as it should be. As it should be. Maybe someone like me, who was hooked on tea and sweets, had it good. Yeah, you do have it good. I wish I had nothing to do in life except hang around at a cruddy bookstore and harass some poor guy with an eye patch. There was a crowd forming outside of Toyo Cinema, so the show must have been starting soon. Toyo Cinema was a movie theater that had just opened a year ago. Looks pretty fancy. And if that wasn't awesome enough, Bro said awesome at his big age. Well, I say it too, so I can't really be talking. In order to attract customers, it would borrow films like today's movie from Nikatsu and rerun them. It felt kind of strange when I thought about how all the people here liked horror films. What's wrong with that? Horror. Lots of people like horror films. I'm not one of them because I cannot handle jump scares, though. It wasn't as crowded as Asakusa Roku, but I'd like to hear more with its gloomy atmosphere. When the doors opened, the crowd began to move. I figured if I stood there, Miyakemi would show up eventually. Yes, I got his name right! I'm so proud of myself. I strained my eyes, but I couldn't find that Kappa head of his at all. Kappa head? He doesn't have a bald patch. Maybe he got lost in the crowd. What does he mean by Kappa head? That doesn't even remotely make sense. For now, I looked at the ticket and checked my seat number. I wasn't a child. Things came up. Crap happened. I followed the back of the crowd and entered Toyo Cinema. Ooh, wow. That's a fancy looking cinema. I walked by the people who were already seated and sat down on my own seat. The one next to me was completely empty, of course. 5. Then 10 minutes went by, but he didn't seem to be coming. Wow, he ditched you. How does that make you feel? The person you feel so fondly about ditched you to probably go party with the woman he met earlier. Eventually, all the seats except Minakami's had been filled, and the entrance was blocked by the standing customers. I bet he's depressed right now. Minakami, I'm not sure if your luck is really good or really bad. I crushed the damp half ticket into my hand and stuffed it deep into my pocket. Thank God he didn't put it back in his sleeve. It's probably damp because he put it in his sleeve. Ew. Now then, let the curtain rise. Not this again. When it comes to the right eye, they're also... What are we talking about? Where's the movie? A right hand and a left hand. A right brain and a left brain. The body is split into two halves. You only have one heart and one stomach. But there is more than enough proof that people can also have two personalities. Dr. Jekyll was a man wavering between good and evil. Wow, that's like Kawase, except he's fully evil. Through rigorous research to find the evil within him, he eventually awakens the scoundrel Mr. Hyde. Split personalities. Wow. That's kind of deep, man. I had never doubted that I was me. That may have been because I knew I was a half-arsed person and accepted my own darkness. You'll never understand me. The movie was over. Already? We just got here! Minakami ditched him. People began to silently head home. A horrible man let out a loud yawn. Wow, he's probably just tired. I watched the crowd leave as I glanced at the empty seat beside me. There was a seat right in the center. If Minakami had tried to come in after the film started, people would have complained, so he wouldn't have had any other choice than to stand and watch. Suddenly, someone came I'm talking too fast, that's why I keep stumbling on my words. Suddenly, someone came up behind me. Ah, who is that? Wow. The person standing beside me was the caramel seller. Caramel seller? Who is the caramel seller? The one he mentioned in his story? There wasn't a seller, it was just about caramel, so... I don't know what... They're really just throwing random characters at us and expecting us to know them. Like those 3 other characters I already forgot the names of. When I finally looked around, I saw that the theater really was empty. So Minakami didn't show up after all. He didn't come in the first place. What do you mean, come back? A kappa head and squinty eyes? Are you serious? Do you like your friend or not? That sounds like a fitting description for Kawase, though. That's a pretty accurate description. How does he immediately know who he's talking about? Are you serious? Ooh. He'd come to the matinee showing of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Did he buy a wrong ticket or something? Oni-san, are you serious, dude? I hate his smirk. I shouldn't say that about little kids, but he looks so punchable. I'm sorry. What did this mean? We had definitely agreed to meet for the evening show. Perhaps seeing through my shortcomings, the caramel seller smiled cruelly. Wow, dude. Wow, he's not putting up with this guy's crap. The look he made told me he didn't care. Well, I don't care either, so ha ha ha. This is already way more interesting than the second half of part 2. I'm not saying that because the eye patch guy showed up, but he's mostly the reason why. I stood up from my seat and passed the frigid guy. As usual, it was pouring outside. I stared out at the rain for a while, the lightning flashing down. I returned to the lobby, but no matter how long I waited, it didn't look like Minakami was coming. You're still waiting for him? I thought it was clear that he's not showing up. He ditched you, buddy. Accept it. A fly tirelessly flew around and around an exposed light bulb. I found myself starting to fidget as I watched its shadow on the floor. I was annoyed. We can tell, buddy. You don't have to tell us. Annoyed. Annoyed. He was making me wait alone in a place like this. It's a fancy place that just opened last year. Why are you complaining? Yeah, that's probably what happened. What do you mean, absolutely not? Did you even look at his ticket? Did you look at the time on your ticket? Ha. Yeah, this guy is an idiot. Why was everyone treating me with such contempt? Because you're a loser, obviously. I directed my childish rage towards Minakami. Why is it sideways? Minakami was a pretty mysterious guy. What made him mysterious? Was something not even as I as a writer could explain. Yeah, because you suck at writing. Because I am Minakami. How could I put it? He was way too nice. What's mysterious about being nice? He was always smiling, no matter what kind of foolish thing Kawase or I did. It may have shocked him, but it never made him hate us. When I told him, "Look, a bird is flying by," he took his eyes away from his book and said, "So there is." He'd once read a book on the different species of birds. That's why I brought up the subject. But he didn't say anything else. It was only when I asked him about how birds fly that he began to gush. Ah, I accidentally done that 3 times. What is wrong with me? Quiet and reserved, Minakemi was a walking encyclopedia. I had the feeling that he was like a deep lake that made no waves. That's the kind of guy Minakemi was. It was mysterious, even for him, to make plans but then go see the same film at noon and disappear at night. He probably got kidnapped by the Phantom. You should research this. Right, it was mysterious. It's the Phantom, guys, I'm telling you! Making a big prediction that the Phantom kidnapped him and tortured him. Anyway, there was only one way to get rid of this uncomfortable feeling. Not the map again. Where's he going now? To his house? I crossed Suido Bridge and headed towards Koishikawa. I was where the nostalgic Oizumi residence was. The madam of the house hated me, deserved. She would even give Minakemi more food than me during meals. That snake eye umbrella that old hag carried. Old hag? No wonder why she hated you if you're calling her that. Carried around really suited her. I obviously couldn't ask her directly if Minakemi was home. If I circled around to the back, his room would be. At the moment, the sliding door rattled open and Madame came out. I immediately hid behind a telephone pole. A telephone pole? A telephone pole? Wow. The old hag really was sharp. Ah! Wow, she has a deep voice. Hello, lady. I would never call you an old hag. Listen to me. She hates him too. Deserved. Deserved. A hurry doing what? Loitering around your house? What if the madam was the Phantom all along? Plot twist! He's been away for that long? Since the afternoon? The old woman grinned. What? Why is she being so difficult for no reason? Well, that's a given. She stared at me as if evaluating my worth, and then started to hurry past. Suddenly, she stopped right next to me and scoffed. Wow, lady. Wow! What? Why are you saying thank you? She just called you a mess. Yeah. Make sure you keep them clean. Wow, lady. Leaving me with her confusing insult. How is that confusing? She just called you a dirty man. She disappeared into the fog. I felt the years of my life return when the sound of her footsteps vanished. I'm liking this rivalry, actually. I hope we get more content with her in the future, because I'm loving her insults. But why wasn't Minakemi home? I doubted he was still at the Imperial University's library. You're doubting that? He would read for the whole day? Not sure. That seems pretty likely for him to still be there. With nowhere to go, I stood there for a while. That was when a young man ran right by me. Who? Who the heck is that? You expect me to know these people? Too many characters to keep up with. When does the frogman return? Who is that? He had already disappeared into the house. I helplessly pulled back my outstretched hand and put it into my sleeve. I let out a sigh for the 100th time. Wow, you really are a downer. Naoshi Oizumi, Naoshi-kun, was Madame's only son. Oh, he's her son. He didn't go to school because he was sickly or something. Oh, I hope he coughs on you and you get sick next. But it wasn't like he was a shut-in. He hung around Jimbocho. He didn't seem to have a very good relationship with Madame, so they purposely went out of their way to avoid each other. With his mom? Jeez. That alone was reason enough for Naoshi-kun and I to get along. I want to come in and visit you, Naoshi-kun. He would probably see through a scheme like that. Well, how would you know? Just ask him to see if he'd be like, oh, sure, come in. We can play with dolls all day. He probably would say that. I'm very smart. I ended up circling around to the back of the house and peeking through the gaps in the fence in front of Minakami's room. Wow, this stalker. I hope Madame comes out and, like, kicks him. Physically kicks him out of the house. Like in those cartoons where they just fling them outside of a place. The lights weren't on. It didn't look like he had come home, just like Madame said. I pulled my face away from the fence and shook off the droplets of water. Then lifted my chilled head towards the rainy sky once more. Had I made some kind of mistake? Yeah, your existence. Ha! Maybe we weren't supposed to meet at Toyo Cinema, but at Suido Bridge. We had met up at Suido Bridge both the time we went to Asakusa's Junikai and when we went to Ginza. But when we went to Toyo Cinema last month, we had met up at the theater. There was one less possibility. Maybe we hadn't really had plans to meet in the first place. No. No. I rode the streetcar in total confusion and returned to Umbachido in a daze. Lightning spilled into my room before I could even turn on the light. That's when I saw the unbelievable scene before me. The goldfish. No! No! The goldfish is dead! My goldfish was floating. No! The goldfish! What happened? No! No! Not the second best character! Oh, that's Gora, my comfort character. When I turn on the light, the unmistakable reality finally burned itself into my eyes. No! The poor goldfish! I'm not wondering why he died. Tamamori is like a terrible goldfish carer. When I fell to my knees and got closer, the strong smell of death hit my nose. What happened? I was in total shock. How are you in total shock when you, like, took out all of his water and just left him in an empty bowl for, like, a minute or two? I folded an error-laden manuscript page and placed it over the fishbowl. No, the goldfish! The poor goldfish is dead! Tamamori is a goldfish killer. I hate this guy. They say goldfish don't die. Who says that? I have never heard that saying in my life. They ascend to that big fishbowl in the sky. Oh, I should have read the full thing before commenting on that. It felt better to say it about a fish that had passed away on its own than one that died on a cutting board. Well, that was the gist of it anyway. I wasn't that sure what made this goldfish special or even what sort of personality he had, but I avoided using the word die. You just said it! It wasn't out of affection, but because I knew death wasn't something repulsive. Once it stopped raining, I'd give it a proper burial. Good for you. Maybe if you had cared for him that much when he was still alive, he'd still be here! I laid down on the futon I'd never bothered to put away and remembered Minakami. Wow, you're remembering a man right before you go to sleep. That's kind of gay, to be honest. The guy had probably gone off somewhere. For some reason, I was surprised by how quickly I accepted that. You literally spent all day at the movie theater. You weren't that accepting then. The rain beat steadily against the window. When I happened to turn onto my back and look up at the sky, I could see the shape of the sun behind the clouds. Morning had come at some point. I turned off the light I left on all night, then lay on my stomach. I must have been feeling so lazy because of the bad weather. Pick up all the crap off your floor, dude! Do something with your life for once. The most troubling affliction in this world wasn't stiff shoulders or a sore stomach. It was listlessness listlessness. That's a tongue twister. Like this. When it got really bad, the whole day went to waste. The poor goldfish! No! Come back, King! You're the saving grace of this story! I know I said that the frogman was, but the goldfish was the second best! I couldn't manage to wake up this morning, so I was going to be late for work. And any plans I had for afterwards would be more trouble than they were worth. You just have to go downstairs to... I cannot talk today. I hope you can understand, boss. Just go downstairs and tell him. Just when I figured I'd go back to bed, something hit the tummy with a clack. If it's Kawase, I'm gonna kill you. It was like someone had struck a wooden clapper from a kabuki show right beneath me. I couldn't sleep with all the noise, so I hurriedly ran downstairs. What is going on? Kawase coming on the first floor. I knew it! I knew it was that cheeky little... I can't cuss here because what if any kids are watching? I can't be a bad influence on them. He had a handkerchief pressed against his mouth and was holding a broom in his other hand. What is he doing? Apparently, he had been striking the ceiling with the handle. Wow, bro's a prime hater. When he saw me, he politely handed me the broom. What is he doing? Wow! Okay, Kawase is like getting more good with each part. I hated him in the beginning, but now he's kind of funny actually. You're obviously not allowed to hit the ceiling with a broom either. Bro hates fun. True. Kawase struck a match, so now you're smoking in the middle of a library? Yeah, dude. Tamamori should kill Kawase in broad daylight. I'm sure that's loud in the library. It's not a library, it's a bookstore. I'm so... Ugh. How would that increase the value? Yeah, exactly. Kawase leaned against the bookshelf with a thud and let out a long, thin stream of smoke. There was plenty I wanted to say about that attitude of his, but I dragged myself to the register instead. Are you sure about that? It seems like all he does. He just purposely bothers Tamamori in every interaction they have. Yeah, I agree with him actually. Minakami is pretty insane. How can you read all of those books with his eyes closed anyway? Maybe he has superpowers or something. Crazy? I was crazy once. Okay, I'm not saying that. While we were learning grammar particles, he had been reading Kayuka Izumi's The Poor People's Club. Wow, that's just like this. I never once thought he was normal. Wow. He probably has a disorder like Kawase. Though he didn't surprise me anymore. But Kawase was looking at the bookshelves with awfully fresh eyes. Thought they'd been childhood friends. Yeah, he probably never tried to understand him at all. You were able to understand a guy like him? Wow, I never would have guessed that he likes stories. That seems like way too much of a stretch, to be honest. Yeah, because he probably wants to learn about new things instead of being stuck in the past. Exactly, he muttered, his eyes somewhat vacant. He wasn't looking at the bookshelves. From the start, it had been as if he were staring out at some scene in the distance. Wow, he's hallucinating just like you. No one asked you about what do you do if you really like the novel. It has to be 3 things: enjoyable, consuming, and persevering. No one asked! Okay, what are these guys talking about now? Literally. Replace the who with what, and that's my genuine reaction. Kawase blew out some smoke, then took in another puff. Stop smoking, please! I was wondering why he was speaking so calmly. The whole thing was making me feel uneasy.
それとも、あいつは一度読んだだけで何もかも記憶できるから、本を読み返す必
That'd
要
make him even more insane.
おそらくそれだな。ちなみに私も本を読み返さないが、理由はそれだ。
君とはちょっと違うだろう。奴は小学校の教科書から何まで全部記憶してる。君の場合は自分に都合のいいことだけだ。
It's making me yawn. I'm sorry. Can the eye patch guy come in and just bring the story back to life? Because I'm falling asleep over here. I could remember interesting words and passages. I had most of Ruiko's works memorized, for example. Nerd! I want to steal his lunch money and shove him into a locker. I was confident I could get every word of his correct, from the first page down to the release date and publishing details. Nerd! But it was strange. If I didn't like it, if it was a tough read, or if I had even the slightest prejudice towards it, the paper itself looked completely blank to me. That's kind of relatable. That happened to me during the Imperial University's entrance exam, and that's why I had to frantically search for the questions on blank pages. The result, as you know, was failure. Ha! It's not so much of a nerd after all. But Minakami was different. Just like Kawase mentioned, that guy could remember everything, from his elementary school textbooks to what he had for breakfast over a decade ago. Seriously? I can't even remember what I had for breakfast last week. Or yesterday, even. What did I have for breakfast? Oh yeah, I had cinnamon rolls. Ha! Proving myself wrong once again. I am smart. I knew it. As if he were reading him out of a diary. That was probably the main reason he never read the same book twice. But why was Kawase bringing that up now? He's just purposely trying to rile you up. You have no business here. Leave.
ここへ来るのに欠席の連絡を入れてるから。
Seriously?
それに関して心配ないよ。
You ditch class just to hit the roof of this bookstore with a broom handle. I wish I skipped class just to be a hater. That'd make my college days so much, way more fun. You wanted to hang out with me that badly? No one would want to hang out with you that badly. No. Where to start?
早くから私を叩き起こした起因たる旗迷惑な本題にまだ入ってい
Yeah, what's the whole point of this conversation? Why am I reading these boring lines of dialogue?
早くからって言うけど、もうすぐ昼だよ。
It's almost noon. Wow, that's still early. I was directing my boiling anger toward him, but meanwhile, Kawase seemed to be avoiding my eyes. He finally lowered the brim of his cap, casting a shadow over his expression.
君は昨日の夜
What? What do you mean? Why is he asking that? I thought he knew about the movie thing. Wait, did he try to like visit him and he wasn't there? Ooh, drama. Why is he asking that? Kawase? Kawase, why are you asking if he was alone? Kawase? Kawase? What are you cooking? What is he cooking? What? Did he do something to Minakami? Because he liked him so much? What? What? Huh? What? He's what? What happened? Huh? For no particular reason, Kawase dropped his cigarette and snubbed it out with the toe of his shoe. What? He's dead? Why didn't, like, the madam say anything about it? Or the kid? Jesus, he's dead? What? Yanagi Bridge? The bridge in Asakusa? The one past Ochanomizu at the end of Kanda River? He's just listing all these places like we know what he's talking about. I think I need to see that map again. I had only heard the names, but in my confusion, the geography wasn't coming to mind. What? The morgue? Jesus Christ, this is serious? It's been asked to identify the body. Oh my god, the story's
Sweet.
finally getting good. He woke him up by hitting the roof with the broom handle just to say that Minakami's dead. What the
No.
heck happened? Jesus! I was not
お前は
expecting.
一体何の話をしているんだ？
水上が死んだ。
Minakami and the goldfish died on the same day. Maybe that means something. I can't believe I was more upset about the goldfish's death than Minakami's death. Devastating loss. Lost your best friend. Wow, Steam! Way to ruin the moment. That Steam's achievement should have been shown when the goldfish died, not over Midakami. Midakami. That is a good nickname. I should save it in case I don't end up liking him. I said something brief to the shopkeeper, then rode the streetcar with Kawase. I bet Kawase murdered him. That's why he knows so much about it. There seems to be a lot of people wearing face masks. Why aren't these guys' glasses on correctly? Can't even do that himself? What a loser. Visible germs scattered about with all the coughs and sneezes. What are you, Kawase? Same person that washes his hands every time he touches your manuscripts? Kawase, the germaphobe that he was, seems to have decided to spend the nearly hour-long trip holding his breath and didn't move an inch the entire time. Okay, King. I just looked in the opposite direction with my mouth agape, like my goldfish. Wow, dude! This is getting good! Shame I have to, like, end the video soon. I don't know how long it's been. I wish I had a time. I wish I set a timer or something so I know, like, when's a good time to stop videos. We got off at Shintokiwa Bridge, transferred to the Marumachi line, and came to Asakusa Bridge. Wow, that place is big. After walking for a while, we stood in front of Asakusa Police Station South Motomachi branch. That's when we finally spoke.
嫌だったら来なくていいんだよ。
Like, his best friend died. Of course he's gonna...
何も恐れる
Of
こ
course he
とは
wants
な
to
い。
come in there, right? Okay, good. Oh, geez. This has got to be the most thug arse picture I've ever seen. They're just standing there like two gangsters. Not the cafe again. Ugh.
あ
Seriously? They didn't even go in there. Now they're going to the freaking cafe? When we got back to the cafe near Canada Bridge, we ordered our usual coffees. Kawase sipped his, but mine was getting cold as I stirred it with my spoon for the 100th time. So we're not even going to talk about Minakami's death now? We're not even going to view his body at the morgue area? Or whatever that place was? We're just skipping over it? Jeez, I want to know more about it. What was I so sad about? What do you mean what you're so sad about? Your goldfish and Minakami died on the same day. Of course, Oh, they did view the body. It was just a time skip. There was no mistake. The corpse was Minakami's. No! My Shayla! No! The Soichiro look-alike!
死んでるとは思えない。
What did he mean by that? He just looked like he was sleeping, seemingly oblivious that he was bound for his grave.
水上は死んでいない。
What do you mean? Maybe he was just sleeping the whole time and decided to pull an elaborate prank on those two.
水難者は上がったというのだ。
They say those who drowned ascend. Okay, nerd. He ascended.
だがあいつには首を絞めた跡があった。
Strangulation marks on his neck. Jesus. Someone must have really had it out for him.
長い紐も見ただろう。
Saw that long rope. He did. Well, Jesus!
首吊りだよ。
This is getting dark. I wasn't expecting it to go down this route so quickly. I mean, I knew like the general basis of what this game was about, but I was expecting like a few more parts until it really got down into the killing aspect. Who would do such a thing?
誰かって
I bet it was the
警官も
goldfish.
自殺ですって言ってただろう。
A suicide?
自殺なんかするわけない。誰かが水上を考察して川へ投げたのだ。
Threw him into the river. That's like paralleling what Kawase did to the frog. Kawase did it! He did it! He did it! He killed him just like he killed that frog! I'm probably insane right now.
本当に話を聞いていないな。水道橋に同種の紐が結んであったと言っただろう。
Huh? He's just making up excuses. He killed him!
だから、
Kawase is a dirty, bloody killer!
橋から落ちた拍子に首の骨が折れて
Jesus
その後
Christ!
紐が切れて川に落ち
Jesus! I don't want to hear about this! It's too sad!
殺されたのだ。
People die when they are killed. Kawase was about to let out an annoyed sigh, but he suppressed it and seemed to finally give up. Finally!
でも何千何万って物語を読んできて人生最後
Wow,
に選んだ
that's
物語
deep.
が震え
He
るのだ
chose. I can't say anything about it because I haven't read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but was probably really boring.
魅力があるとは思えないんだけどな。
田上はなぜ帝大に行かなかったのだろ
Because he was so eager to watch the movie with you.
う。なぜ私に嘘をついて昼の部の活動写真を一人で見
Ooh,
に
he
行ったのだろ
lied
う。
to
玉
you.
森くんがわからないんじゃもう誰にもわからない。
Kawase, you have got to know something. You have got to know something that you're not letting on. Or there was another possibility. Maybe he'd gone to see it with someone else.
通り魔の仕業だ。
Was the act of a murderer. Dun dun.
神保町に現れる怪
The
人の
Phantom. The Phantom killed him. I said earlier that the Phantom kidnapped Mina Carey.
それは君の空想の話だろう。
Yeah,
夜な夜な人をさ
he
らう怪人
definitely
とかいう
kidnapped him and killed him.
だから現実に怪人はいるのだ。
Yeah, right, buddy.
いややばいよ玉森くん。
One of the few times where I agree with
み
Kawase.
んな傘を差して自分の足元しか見ていない。だから誰が誰を
Why are we
川に
talking
突
about
き
feet
落とそうと
again?
見ていない。目撃者がいないのはそういうことだ。
Huh? I'm pretty sure there would be witnesses if someone just fell into the river unprompted. It's kind of weird that no one saw him in the actual scene. Someone has got to be lying or something.
でも
Exactly.
自殺だよ。
Why does he keep saying that it was a suicide instead of like being open to any other option? Suicide? Wasn't suicide the perfect suspected cause of death a culprit could hope for? How dare Kawase accept that so readily?
お前、それでも友達だろ。
Yeah, he's just so cold towards
自
his
殺の
supposed
理由を探してあ
friend.
げてるんじゃないか。
Haven't they been knowing each other for like a while? Because we're friends, I'm trying to think of a reason why he killed himself. Understanding that was Kawase's way of showing kindness. How is that his way of showing kindness? I lowered my raised fist. Kawase was the same as me. He couldn't understand any of it either. But the reality was that we were beginning to think of how we would mourn for Minakemi in our own ways. If at all possible, I would have liked to feel the same way as Kawase, but no way he'd leave
差
out
し置く
leave out who? What?
誰が
Yeah, what is he talking about?
あいつが
What did he mean by that? Minakami had crammed the impressions of all the books he had read into his notebook, but my name wasn't there at all. Because you're not a book, idiot! Not even the character for Tama and Tamamori. The character for Mori wasn't in there either. You're not a book, you
も
idiot!
しかして君さ、君は水上が死んだことに
Oh, the
水上が
music
自分
stopped.
に
This is
何も
gonna
残
be
さなかったこと
good.
にショックを受けてる。
Oh, Kawase. Oh, I finally understood what he's talking about. Jesus. Jeez, dude. Not understanding what he meant, I fell silent. Kawase suddenly left. This dude is
それは非常にショッ
brutal.
クだよね。
Wow.
あんな
He's
に
going
君を
straight for
惚
the
れてた人
kill. He was so in love with
俺
Say
が死んだの
something.
君がそんな風に悲しんでる
Oh, this is so good.
はあ、当たり前だろ。
どうして
Why?
友達だからに決まってるだろ。お前も水上も。
They were my friends. Minakami, Kawase, and even Hanazawa, who wasn't here. We were childhood friends who had been together for as long as I could remember. I could even call them my best friends. I could probably call Kawase a bad friend. You should call him a bad friend, but not to his face, not in this moment. But Minakami and I were friends bonded by pure trust and friendship.
さっきから何が言いたいのだ。お前までおかしく
Yeah,
なった
this
の
is
か。
おかしくなっ
this
ちゃい
is
ないさ
good. Jesus.
ただ
I said that like 10 times so
自分
far,
が
but like,
あまりにも白状
wow.
な人間だと思ってる
He finally realized it. He finally realized it.
その友達が死んだのに涙の一つ流れし
Jeez.
んなめめしい真似
Fem-
できるわけない
Seriously? You're the one that's attributing femininity to crying.
あいつとの思い出の一つや二つも
You what? Okay, you are a bad friend.
それはさすがに
He's the
白状す
worst
ぎる
friend. That is way too heartless. He's right.
友達って何なんだろうね
Wow.
どうしてこんな俺を後始末に選んだんだろ
Wow. Kawase's address and phone number were scribbled in the back of Minakami's notebook. I wonder why it wasn't Tamamori instead, because Kawase is like the dictionary definition of like the worst friend you could possibly have. You haven't even chosen me to handle his final affairs. Wow, are you jealous? The question Kawase had asked himself sounded more viciously sarcastic than usual to me.
じゃあな
Bye.
店に戻る
Wow, you're leaving already? Jeez.
うそう明日の昼水上を田舎に連れ帰ることになってる君も俺と一緒に来なよ
Oh.
水道橋で待ってるからさ
Oh, they're gonna take him back to the country? Are they gonna like carry his body or just like push him while he's in a coffin or what?
いいかん
You not going?
どうして
Your best friend
つい
just
でにおじい
died
ちゃん
and
の
you
元
don't
気な
wanna.
顔を見せておやるよ
You can show his. Oh yeah, his grandma's there too. Why doesn't he want
あ
to
んな
go?
ど田舎二度と戻りたくない
Jeez.
あそう
Does he have bad memories with it or something?
ただいま戻りました
I'm back.
はい
Wow, the shopkeeper does not care. I got to work as usual. It felt like the shopkeeper's voice was awfully close. His shadow clung to the shoji.
ご友人でしたか
Oh, he knows?
上がっていたのはいつも
Oh, he probably overheard it since he's in the other room.
そうですかご愁傷さんですさぞおつらかったで
It's
しょう
difficult for me, even.
店を
I cannot believe that he died. Him and the goldfish on the same day. It's truly tragic. There's tears in my eyes right now.
今日は休んでいてもいいんですよ
Take today off and go to the professor's house, please.
店は閉められませんから
I tried saying something sincere, but deep inside, I just wanted to lie down and bury my face in my pillow until I could barely breathe. Me too,
天
dude.
使も夜は気をつけてください
Phantom did it.
怪人の仕
Why
業
aren't you
なんです
suspecting Kawase, who was like way too heartless for the whole thing and immediately jumping to like, oh, it was a suicide. Oh, he jumped off the bridge himself. Like, nah. Maybe he like bribed him to do it since his name was like, since Minakami had written down his address. Maybe Kawase bribed him.
怪人
The shopkeeper's not putting up with this bull
Hey.
crap.
どうやらこの神保町に
Seems to
怪
be a
人が現
monster.
れるようなんで
Are
す
you serious? You're listening to what those little kids have been saying?
君は風の噂を信じているのかい
He does. He absolutely does.
君はまだ物語の中にいるようだから
Oh, he knows about the stories? Wow. Stories?
現実は探偵物語
So
じゃ
true.
ないのだよ現実の犯人は限られた
Yeah.
中にしかいない
Tell him,
Arriba.
shopkeeper,
犯
who
人
doesn't
な
have
ど
a
いない
face for some reason.
あなたに何がわかるんですか
Maybe the
君が
shopkeeper
軍師
did
と
it.
して成長する良い機会かもしれませんよ
His best friend just died, and you're talking about him growing his career as a writer? Seriously?
人が死んだのに
Exactly.
あ
That's
な
just
たの友人を
outrageous.
失った
What?
失った分は
Dude.
何かの
そんな合理的に言われても
でも君なら理解できるはずです
You should be able to understand.
分かってほしいのは私
Huh?
なりに君を
Encourage.
励ましてるつもりだってことです
Losing Minakami was like losing a piece of myself. Look for that piece and hang on to it. That must have been what the shopkeeper was trying to say. The cold way he said it, though, disregarded my personal feelings and made me face a logical reality. But if I were the shopkeeper, I probably would have said the same thing. If I were to take it in a broader sense, it was like he was saying I should be thankful I was still alive. I thought that was reasonable. But at the moment, those words didn't resonate with me at all, because although I understood I had lost Minakami, I didn't feel any sense of emptiness or loss. You just said you lost a part of yourself. And you're like, oh, I don't feel any loss. What are you talking about? It must have been because of this terrible, uncomfortable feeling I had.
すみません。
He lied?
待て。
I never would have saw that
嘘
coming.
とは一体何だろう。
全然
What?
辛くないんです。
What do you mean not difficult?
昨日まで会っていた知人が死んだのに。
What are you talking about?
ないんです。
Seriously? Him and Kawase are heartless. Dang. I would be like crying for like past 5 hours if one of my close friends died. I would never see that carefree face again, ever again. I would never hear that laid back voice ever again. I did my best to understand that.
私は最低な人間なのかもしれません。
Yes, you are. You are the problem.
その自覚があるだけで、あなたは十分善人
Oh,
で
the
すよ。
shopkeeper does have a point. He's able to realize that.
ね。
I lay across the counter. I thought if I put my face down, the tears would flow. But behind my eyelids, what surfaced clearly. Oh, Mina Cami, no! I miss you. Mikami's profile as he read a book. I wonder how much time had passed. The clock on the wall informed me that it was 5. Why did it fade like that? What happened when I happened to lift my face? Professor was there. Professor's back! Yay! Yes! Yes, I've been waiting for this moment! Okay, who cares that Minakami died? Professor's here now! He's the only thing that matters!
こんばんは。
お迎えに上がりました。
It's such a tragedy that his goldfish and Minakami died on the day that the professor was supposed to pick him up. Like, maybe the professor did it! Oh, plot twist. He did it so there'd be no interruptions for him to hang out with him tomorrow. Oh, that would be good. Okay, Kawase didn't do after all. It was Professor. I know it.
迎え
Oh, did he forget? He probably forgot his name too.
約束したじゃないですか。今日は
Come to his house, please.
って。
I had promised something so annoying, hadn't I? Annoying?
休養があ
You
るんです。
promised wholeheartedly.
空いてる時でいいです。
No, don't do it another time. I've been waiting for this moment.
玉森くんも意外と
No
忙しいんですね。ごめんなさい。失礼なことを言ったら
No
謝ります。
I was telling Ori I'd go to his house in a heartbeat. Like, it'd be a good way to distract yourself from your best friend's death, so...
本を買うんですか。
Like the
買わないん
shopkeeper
ですか。
said, like, cling on to something else to fill the void. Going to buy a book. Jeez, how could he be so heartless? Professor said as he thrust his hands onto his shelf and pulled out some books.
これ全部買います。
Wow, he is so studious. I could see there are at least 10 books. I counted 2, 4, 6, 8. My finger cramped part way. Wow, he is weak. How can your finger cramp when you're counting 10 books? So in the end, I stopped counting.
2円です。
2 yen for all those books?
レコードが買えちゃいますね。
買えないなら戻してください。
No!
買います買います。もうお店閉めちゃうんですか。
言ったでしょ。
No! I wanted
です。
him to go to the professor's house so we could have more content of him!
そうですか。一つご提案があるんですが。
Yes, I want to hear it.
聞いてください。
I want to hear his proposition. Oh, where are we going now? Anyway, I looked at it. Professor was a strange man. I watched our earlier conversation play out through the window as I rode the swaying streetcar.
玉森くんの代わりに僕が店番しておきます。
いいんですか。
He's gonna watch the shop in his
明日は
place.
お休みなので時間はたっぷりとあるんです。
じゃあお願いします。6時になったら店を閉めて勝手に帰ってくださいね。
Oh, he's so cute! Oh my gosh! He looks so happy! Oh my god! I love this guy. I love this guy.
好きな本を
Big
好きな
fan
だ
of
け読ん
him.
でいてください。
Even though he has a stupid name like Professor. Hello, Professor.
そんなお礼だなんて。
Oh my gosh.
君の力になりたいだけですよ。
He's so cute. I want to crush him to death. I thought he was just some weirdo, but he was actually a pretty considerate weirdo. Well, that's a start. See ya.
玉森くん、うま
Oh,
く言えないんですが、
he's so sweet.
出してくださいね。
I was heading to the Oizumi residence where Madame lived to ask her to let me into Minakami's room. But even a stranger like Professor could see through to my weakness. I think I'll stop once he arrives because it's been a while and I don't want this to trail off to like 2 hours long. I probably wouldn't have the strength to ask Madame for anything in my current state. In that case, there was always Kawase's pool. I jumped off the streetcar and headed towards Aikida Manor where Kawase lived. Why are we going to where Kawase lives? I think I'm gonna stop here, actually. This is way better than the second part, which is what I was hoping for, but I wasn't expecting it to be, like, a big jump in quality like this. Like, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been fun, like always, to give my thoughts, and I'm really looking forward to continuing the story after this. So part 4 will probably come, like, way sooner than the other ones, because I'm eager to continue playing this. Okay, bye, guys!